It was a marriage born of promise, a union I once believed to be perfect. I met Thomas when I was in my mid-20s, a young woman full of hope and dreams. He was charming, well-spoken, and everything I thought I needed in a partner. The wedding day arrived, and it felt like the beginning of something beautiful, something that would last forever. We moved into a quaint house in a quiet suburban neighborhood, and for a while, everything seemed right. I remember the early days when we laughed together, talked late into the night, and made plans for the future. He was my rock, my everything. And then, when I became pregnant with our first child, I thought we would only grow stronger. But that was when I began to see a side of him that I had never noticed before. Thomas had always been protective, but his love began to morph into something darker. His temper, which I had never seen in the years we were dating, started to rear its ugly head. At first, it was small things, raised voices, sharp words. But soon, it turned into something I could not ignore, physical violence. I tried to justify his actions, blaming stress, work, anything to avoid the painful truth. But deep down, I knew this wasn't love. I was pregnant with our first child, and I couldn't imagine leaving him. My Christian upbringing had instilled in me a sense of duty, a belief that marriage was sacred and unbreakable. The vows we took weren't just words, they were a commitment for life. I could never break that promise. Besides, we had 4 children to think about now. How could I walk away? How could I be the one to tear our family apart? The violence continued. He would apologize, of course. He would cry, beg for forgiveness, and tell me how much he loved me. But the apologies always came after the damage was done. And as the years passed, the incidents became more frequent. I lived in constant fear, walking on eggshells, hoping and praying that each day would pass without incident. Then came the infidelity. At first, I couldn't believe it. Thomas had always been a man of great pride, and the idea that he would betray me, his wife, the mother of his children, seemed impossible. But it wasn't long before I uncovered the truth. He had been seeing someone else, a woman from his office. The betrayal stung more than the violence, and I felt my heart shatter. But even then, I couldn't leave. I had been taught that family was everything. Divorce was something that happened to other people, not to me. I was a mother